Hello, beautiful people. It's great having you on today's episode of Viewpoints. You already know, talk show where they talk as EB. We will be talking about up to the minute trends and development as usual. And throughout the show, we will delve into topics that range from politics, current events, entertainment, social issues, health, lifestyle, and so much more. You know how we do it, whether you're on the go or watching us from home, just sit back, relax as we delve into these stimulating conversations. I am Hadiza Galadima, and joining me on the show today is Confidence and Wisdom. Thanks for joining us. And now, straight to the business of the day. Let's get started. In the words of Bruno, the worst disease in the world today is corruption, and there is a cure: transparency. We will be talking about hike in tuition fees. We will also be talking about superiority complex. And later on the show, we will be talking about improper waste management and littering. All this and more after the break.
Experience the acceleration of Oweleketv. Get the latest news from the glitz and glamour of the entertainment industry to the pulse-pounding realm of sports. We provide accurate and up-to-date information, exclusive interviews with top political analysts that will leave you craving more. Our team of professionals delivers captivating content from Nigeria and beyond. Follow us on our social media handles at Oweleketv. Visit our website at www.oweleke.tv for a thrilling journey. Oweleketv, rising star at the fairground.
Welcome back. This is Viewpoints, talk show where they talk as EB. The rising cost of living and operations are limiting access to education and beyond the reach of many parents. While many are already considering the option of enrolling their wards in public schools, others will be adding to the out-of-school group. As private and government schools operators increase fees for the primary, secondary, and tertiary students by over 300%, there are fears that many students may not return when school resumes. Already, some parents are considering the option of enrolling their wards in public schools since they are not charging exorbitant fees, while others are confused on the next line of action, raising concerns of possible increase in the number of out-of-school children or students, which pops the question: with the significant increase in tuition fee, what is the fate of the common Nigerian students?
Well, you see, one of the things I've been able to find out in this is because you see, it boils down to the economic system. You see what is going on in the country. You know, the proprietors, those into business, those into academic business. You see, they will have to pay their teachers. They will have to take care of other things. So the removal of subsidy, the economy, the destabilizing the economy is affecting everyone. It's affecting every business out there. So when they are increasing their fees, I don't have issues with that. Yes, it boils down to the system we have in Nigeria. If everything is working, if everything is in order, okay, you see, such level of increment cannot come up. Okay, the proprietor need to pay the workers. In the tertiary, they need to settle some bills and make sure things are going well. They are also paying tax. They are also taking care of a lot of things. So I think that anyone who cannot afford the private sector, the private institution, should go to the government. Yes, there is a provision already. Go to the one you can afford. And I advise every parent, just make sure you don't kill yourself over this. I know you want to give your child a very good sound education, but you can't still to do that. If what you're earning is not enough, you know that you can't do it, please cut your coat according to your material. Yes, do that. And then put your child in a school that at least most of these government schools, they are doing well. There are government schools that are actually doing well. I attended a government school. Yes, my primary school days, I attended a government primary school. And then the teachers, they did well. They taught us very well. So I advise parents, instead of passing through duress, passing through stress, bring down your children, make sure you plan yourself, and then take them to government school and let them have their education there. And then to the government, I think it is high time they look into the system, because this whole thing is destabilizing us. It is not good. Every one of us, okay, they are the one enjoying it. They are having a wardrobe allowance. They are having vehicle allowance. They are having medical. In fact, the medical allowances they are not even having their medical treatment in Nigeria, in the country. They will fly them abroad to go to abroad. Any small thing, they are out of the country. And you see, they have been able to destabilize this country. So my advice to the government is they should make sure that this removal of subsidy, the monies, all the things they are getting from them, they should use it to push the economy. This money should not go to some people. Few persons are busy taking up this money. And then every one of us, we are busy lamenting. So they should do the right thing so that the economy can be stable and we will enjoy our country, Nigeria.
Okay, confidence. Wisdom came from the angle of the private sector, like the private educational sector. Now let's look at the government educational sector, because he's saying if you cannot go to a private school, go to a government school.
Yes, sir.
And now the government, like we saw of recent, where students were protesting over the hike of fees, that they cannot pay over 200,000 naira, and that is a government institution, tertiary institution. What do you have to say?
It tells you the sad state of the educational system of Nigeria. It's not news. Why do you think people started having private universities? Why do you think you started having proprietors and proprietresses? Because some of these people genuinely saw a need. They saw that the government is not helping, so let's start up something. But like Mr. Wisdom said, it's not water that you're using to run the school. You have to, their facilities for the children to have ample education, for the teachers to even be comfortable to be teaching the children, because sometimes some of these teachers, they come with frustration. They are frustrated, so they give it to the students, So I think coming from the government angle, they're not even doing well. You go to government schools and you're wondering what is going on. Facilities are not there. Teachers are underpaid. The staff, they are severely understaffed. And you're wondering, okay, what, like the question you asked, what is the fate of the common Nigerian students? Everything is on the rise since subsidy was removed. Transportation, every single thing is on feeding. Let's not even the educational sector of Nigeria. When you started talking about this, I was like, the educational sector of Nigeria, I don't want to say it's dead, but honestly speaking, they don't pay attention to it. The government schools that people are supposed to actually get something
from there.
Because the private sector, definitely, the private sector is an individual sector, and people who want to, will I say, overdo. So people want to go to the government school and see that, okay, at least this is our own. The government is taking care of us. But it's a different ball game. You go there, you meet a bunch of angry people. Because the people at the helm of affairs are supposed to be dishing out, what they are supposed to be putting into these schools, are not doing it. When the money comes, you'll be surprised that, when it comes to revenue allocation and everything, when they push the money, to schools, people at the helm of affairs, they will share the national cake, they will eat it, they will seize it. And then people are suffering. We're talking about federal universities. I went to University of Abuja. I remember what I paid. That was 2016, 17. I remember what I paid as school fees. It was not up to 30,000. Everything, including the acceptance fee. But go back now and look at art students. So let's not even talk about. I remember in my time how many medical students had to drop out. So the country is killing young dreams, and you wonder why people want to go.
Even with this present government,
I'm telling you,
from one something
To the other.
to the other.
Like it gets worse every day.
And another thing I want you to check, from 100 and something naira fuel
Fuel.
price
Yes.
to 600 and something.
Mind you, in the 100 and something, we're complaining. When it
Okay.
was increased to 100 and something, people were complaining.
Okay.
And now you can see that, the way Hadiza put it, she said 300%. 300% increase is a lot.
It's a lot.
It is a lot. And you wonder, now people, some parents now, I saw, there's somebody I follow on Instagram, she's homeschooling her son. I mean, parents are now getting so much knowledge, they are accompanying themselves. Because if my mother will always say, she says it in Igbo, she says, Izagara was Aga, that if is does not go, was will go, So everybody is just looking for a way out. And, as funny as it sounds, it's really sad. Because,
It's
like I
sad
said,
one.
they're killing young dreams. The government schools are supposed to be where you go to, and you know that, okay, I'm not paying so much. But you ask yourself, the state of the schools themselves, facilities are not there. And nothing, the worst part of it is that nothing is being done. But you wouldn't blame them. Like Mr. Wisdom said, I like to strike, let's strike a balance. You don't blame them. Some of these people, the schools facilities need to be checked. Things need to be taken care of for the students, the children to come and even have. If they come to school, they know that, okay, I came to school, I'm getting this education. Not bunch of frustrated teachers, frustrated teachers teaching the children and they're not getting anything. It's so bad and nothing is being done about it.
Well, like I will always say, the government schools of now is not like the government schools of then.
Yes.
Then way back, you always feel proud to say I went to a government school.
Yes.
But not any longer, because like they don't actually have anything to offer.
Even
like
the
you
private
said,
school now,
the
so you're
teachers
no
are
longer proud.
underpaid. Yeah, you're not even you're not proud they're underpaid. To you our viewers out there, we would love to have your take as regards what we just discussed right now. So get involved in our comment sections. All right, let's go on a short break. We'll be right back. Please stay with us. Welcome back and thanks for staying with us. Moving on to our next topic, we will be talking about superiority complex. It is a psychological term used to describe a personality trait in which an individual feels and expresses a sense of superiority over others in different aspects of life. Some people have tendencies to overestimate their abilities regardless of their actual skill and knowledge, leading them to believing that they are always right and others are inferior. Superiority complex is a personality trait that can have a negative effect on individuals and their relationships. So it is essential to recognize and address this trait to avoid misunderstanding and to build a healthier relationship with people. So what is your thoughts on superiority complex and why do people feel superior to others?
Honestly, when I hear things about superiority complex, some people say it's a mental thing, and I like to think it's a personality issue. Because why would you feel that? What gives you the impetus, the guts to think that you are above somebody? My mother will tell you who sent you. Where did you come from? How you see people out there and you're manifesting it.
Yeah.
It is happening. You talk with somebody and the person talks with so much gusto, and you're asking yourself, is it the same place that we came from? That I came from, that this person came from, that what is giving them this boost? And it is not confidence. I like to call it overconfidence. Some people will tell you that, no, this is just how I am. I know I can do it. It's not. Sometimes people say it's just you being bold. It's not boldness. It stems from a place of pride and arrogance. And I think I want to come from the angle of the family. I said the family because a lot of people, are born with the golden spoon. Is it the silver spoon or the golden spoon? They are born with the silver spoon or the golden spoon, whatever spoon it is. They come from a place of affluence, and because they have everything going for them, they have everything easy. They ask for this, and at the snap of a finger, it's given. They ask for that. They go to the best schools. They drive the best cars. There's a stash of wealth. So you see, people like that, when they come out into the society, they have everything. Who are you? You see, you come in, you go out every day and you hear people tell you, you know who I be. No, I mean, you know who I mean, you hear people say they look people before you talk to people. You don't know who go rubbish. And you know, when you look at it, you think about what's giving this person that drive. That's why I said I'm coming from the angle of family. Some people come from a place of affluence and they feel like any other person around them is just rubbish and it's bad. You know, science, sometimes I feel like science does us more harm than good. They find a name to give it. They tell it's something disorder. It's a personal thing. And you know, I think families have a lot to do when it comes to reorientation. You know, my dad will always say something. He'll say, when you have that money tomorrow, don't forget where you came from. That's why, you know, when it comes to success, when it comes to wealth, I will always say you have to have a backstory. If you don't have a backstory, I can't listen to you. You know, when you see people who have a backstory and where they are coming from, and you see genuinely humble people, you know that these people know that, okay, without some people around me, without this, without that, I will not be here. So I think family members, the family climb has a lot of reorientation they need to do for the children, especially people that are coming, you know, into the world. They have a lot of reorientation to do to them. You're not, because you have this and this person does not have this right now, does not make you better. I mean, we've seen cases of, you know, children that come out from big schools and children that go to public schools doing a lot better than some of these people. So I think superiority complex, when we talk about it from the family angle, I think parents, family members need to do a lot of reorientation. Say it. You are not better than anybody. You are just in your own lane. You're getting better. But don't ever think that, don't get to a point where you feel like there is something that makes you feel higher than somebody else.
So it's a privilege and not a right.
Thank you.
All right. I think, you know, talking about superiority complex, I think it has to do with character. I call it character deficiency. And then it has to do with thinking more of yourself. When you think more of yourself, you see yourself higher above every other person. You see, when everything, you know, there are many things that could actually cause that. That is worth. That is level of exposure. You see at the same time, level of understanding, knowledge. That is where you see worth. You see exposure, you see knowledge. You see, when people has actually accumulated a lot of knowledge, they feel they know.
Exactly.
And that feeling that you know, if you are not careful, if you don't have the right character to put you in check, you will start, you know, you will start seeing others. I know more than this and more than, and you don't know that you are already puffing up. You don't know that you are already showing arrogance. You don't know that pride is already manifesting. You see, it has to be put in check, because you know, every one of us, we know in part. You know, let me not just bring the scripture to this, but you know, there is a portion of the Holy Book that says that we know in part and we prophesy in part. That is not everything that you will know. Every one of us is blessed in different areas. So you should, no matter your level, no matter what you have acquired for yourself, no matter your level of knowledge, no matter the exposure, you should be able to stay humble and deal with people according to their knowledge. Okay, let me give you an example now. You see God, God Almighty. You see, God deals with us according to knowledge and understanding. If God starts treating us the way we react to him, you see, God is going to finish everybody. Are you getting my point now? Yes, he's going to finish everybody, because God will say, don't do this. You know this thing is bad. This, you're doing it, and you know, and a lot of things. Yes, because if God wants to show his superiority, if he wants to show that level, you every one of us, we can't stand with it. So what are we talking about now? You see, people should be able to know that whatever you have, it was given to you.
Yes, exactly.
Yes,
Somebody
whatever you
treaded that
learned,
path
it
before
was you were taught.
Somebody paved that way.
Wherever you have been to, actually somebody made it beautiful.
True.
So if you have all of these things in check, you acquire the right character that will be a guard to your life and help you to behave well and look at other people in a good way.
calling.
There's a saying that a wise person is someone who has knowledge, someone who is learning, will unlearn and relearn.
Learn.
That's just it. We just
Capital it all.
well, let's go on a short break. We'll be right back. Please stay with us. Welcome back. And moving on to our last topic, we will be talking about a common problem that plagues our society: improper waste management and littering. This issue is not only unsightly, but it also has a severe consequences for our environment. Littering results in degradation of the environment. Trash like plastic, bottles, and papers. Improper waste management poses health hazard and litters on the roadside and in urban spaces not only creates an eyesore, but also release toxic chemicals that pollute the air. It takes a collective effort to tackle the challenges of littering and improper waste disposal from ruining our environment. So how can we combat this issue or problem?
Okay, number one there, I think how we can do that is by, creating awareness. Yes. Creating
Yeah. Awareness has not been created.
yes, you need to tell the people.
Do you tell yourself?
Of course, that you see, those days in primary school, you see, they will teach us how to keep our environment clean. We will recite it. How do you keep your environment clean? It has been sinking. Anytime I'm eating, I'm outside. Okay, maybe I'm in the vehicle. You see, it has gotten to a point. You see why I'm talking about awareness. It starts from our schools.
Okay.
It starts from, people who can actually go out there, talk to people about these things. Okay, let me now dwell on our schools. Those days in the primary school, you notice our teachers will teach us how to keep environment clean.
Yeah.
Do you know that if I am in the vehicle now, I'm traveling, and then I happen to eat anything, I will hold on to that, what's it called, the nylon, whatever. I will hold on to it till I get to a place where I can actually throw it
So
away.
even when you're passing the bushes and everything,
I don't. Because of that knowledge, because of
Orientation.
that orientation, because of that awareness, because we were told that when you litter the place, you are not being a good citizen. That for you to be a good citizen, you must keep your country clean. So it has been in me. So that's why I'm talking about awareness. If you can actually start from there, train up a child in the way it should go. When children are being taught that way, you notice that they are going to grow like that
doesn't
way.
leave
And
them.
at the same time, those of us in the health sector can actually organize conferences where they can talk to people, seminars where they can talk to people, come to the grassroots, and talk to the people, call them and say, okay, you need to keep your gutter clean. Okay, do you know that in my community we have this age grade something where we come out to clean the environment? Yes, if you don't come out, there is something they will go and hunt for your own fowl. They will kill. I'm telling you what I experienced in the village. They will go to your house and then kill any fowl. It could be your own, it could be your neighbor's own, but you're going to pay for it. Why? They are teaching you how to be disciplined, how to keep your environment clean. So if we can have this awareness, it's going to help us to keep our environment clean.
Wow.
Nice.
Mr. Wisdom is the perfect example of that child, that student that heard what the teacher
Just
said. I'm going to come at it from two angles, from the personal, perspective, and from the parent perspective. From the personal perspective, first of all, we always hear something. People say, the change you are looking for starts with you. And let me say it, some of us are very guilty of it. You eat something, you just you're inside the car, you just fling it. You don't want to know if whatever you're eating is going to blind the person, the car by the side, if it's going to cause accidents. You don't want to know. You just, you throw things out. So I think, it is said, that change that you want, let it start with you. Yes, Mr. Wisdom said something about creating awareness. You can talk, but the people or the person that will take it will take it. But that thing you're preaching, make sure that you are practicing it and not just outside in your houses. Some people would be practicing it outside, but if you go to their houses, my goodness gracious, if you enter some people's compounds, you run away. Because they don't practice. And in Nigeria, we're so fond of it. We can preach, but to practice that thing that we're preaching is very hard. So from the personal perspective, I think it's very important for we as individuals to be that change we want to see. When you hold something, don't just throw it away. Look for places that you can dispose it and dispose of it rightly. Now, from the parents' perspective, there's something, some of these cartoons, because I'm a lover of animation. So you hear things like monkey see, monkey do. Children are growing up, and sometimes you don't have to say too much. Your actions is enough. They just need to see you doing it and they pick it. Children, they have this memory. I don't know, God is just wonderful. You don't need to do too much. You don't even need to, don't shout. Just, carry out an action. So as parents, you see children will be in the car, they'll see you eat something, you throw it away. They'll be watching you. You do it the first time, you do it the second time, you do it the third time. They'll say, okay, this thing is normal. And then you take the children out somewhere and they do it. They're like, don't do that, stop it. And the child will be like, but you used to do it. I have a younger sister, she says it. She sees you doing something. And you rebuke her, she tells you, but you are doing that thing. And then you see adults who get upset and you're like, don't talk to me like that. But it's the truth. So from the parents' perspective, I think the parents to practice that change you want to see. Make sure that you are doing it, because there's just a lot that we can do. When it comes to revolution, bringing people together, it's hard. But when you're doing that thing, make sure that at least, if not for anything, you're practicing it. That when you go out, you have something in your hand, you eat. Don't throw it away just anywhere. I saw some videos at some point on Instagram. I think it was Singapore or China or Japan, one of these Asian countries. And this person finished drinking something, threw it out. The guy passed, came back, knocked on his window, he picked it up and put it inside the car. So, passing a message that if you can litter the environment, will help you and litter your car. So I think it's very important from that personal perspective and the parents' perspective as well. Parents, practice what you preach so that the children that you're bringing up will also know that, okay, this is a principle. Sometimes you get to homes and you hear, don't do this, don't do that. It's not what you are saying, it's what you're doing. It's in the action. As you're saying it, make sure you're doing it. So that if that child goes out anywhere, just like Mr. Wisdom said something, that in school they taught them, and he imbibed it and is living that, reality. So make sure as you're saying, don't do this thing, make sure that they are seeing you, that you're not doing it. So, and as people too, we need to practice it. Because we adults, we can be behaving like children sometimes. I mean, I have seen a lot. I've seen it happen a lot of times. People eat something and you just in the car, you hear "pa" on your face. You're like, yeah.
You see, to add to what you said, you see, government should also take measures. Yes. There is something beautiful about our country. We like it when something coercive, something hot, a little bit hot. We like it. Yes, we like force. When there is a policeman standing somewhere, giving orders and then trying to make things work, that's where we like. That's where we want to obey. But when there is nobody there is just like crossing the traffic and whatever. Nobody wants to obey it. So what I'm trying to say is that government should take measures of these things. There are things they can actually do to make sure the environment is clean. They should put all the necessary waste bins, the locations where they should be.
They do. One funny thing again is even with the provision of the waste bins, to get filled up to an extent where
can take it
away.
It's a problem. For them to even take it out of that place again is a problem for them.
Yeah. So I think every somebody will say every angle will collect. So I think it's the government, the parents, the individuals, everybody
is involved.
Is involved in it.
So basically, it's just like charity begins at home, and we should take actions. We should take responsibilities for our action, right? Yes. Let's be that change that we want. A cleaner environment is everyone's responsibility, like we just said. So from individuals to government. So therefore, let's commit to taking care of our environment. This is where we draw the curtain for today. You already know. Talk show where they talk as EB. Let's do this again, same place, same time. Be a part of our community by dropping your opinions in our comment section. And don't forget to follow all our social media handles displayed on your screen for more episodes of Viewpoint. Subscribe, like, share, and turn on the little notification bell on our YouTube channel at Oweleketv. Our website is oweleketv. Bye for now.